I'll get the ball rolling and I'll ask the first question. Uh, it was submitted and it says, when my feeding window is 10 to 6, it's really difficult to fit in snacks. Do I have to have snacks or can I skip them? I just feel like I'm not hungry. First rule of thumb for me is if you're not hungry, don't eat. You really want to be paying attention to your body and your hunger signals. So it's actually great if you're not hungry. I definitely don't want you to feel like you're forcing yourself to eat. But, staying true to Dr. Ian and what he suggests not skipping meals. And, if you skip a snack here and there, that's definitely okay to do. You don't want to be just like consuming food to consume food just because it's on your calendar. So to know that you can skip snacks. And again, if you're not hungry, if your feeding window is really small and it's affecting your hunger signals to where you're not hungry, great. You don't need to be eating then. What I would say is we want to err on the side of being balanced with that. So we never want this to go a direction where like you're feeling like you're not hungry and then maybe you're getting a little hungry, but you're like, oh, I'm doing so good and I wasn't that hungry, so I'm just not going to eat that much today. And then suddenly what happens tomorrow is you eat extra because you didn't eat enough the day before. So it's feeling out your hunger signals and feeling out like what's true in the moment and not what's, emotional or what you think you should be doing. Just listening to your body and following along that way. Do either of you have questions about that?
Yeah. No, but I've actually had that happen. So, and it's so true. You're not hungry, and then if you don't eat the next day, it's awful because then you're just hungry all day almost, and then that encourages you to eat the wrong things. So,
right. Yeah, that's why eat the meals, but if you're going to skip a snack, skip a snack. Or if you're going to skip anything, skip a snack. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So for the IF window, if someone was doing like 12 to 8 and you just switched me to shred, there's 4 meals plus snacks.
Yep.
So that seems like a lot in 8 hours.
You're right. That, what I think with shred was not created with intermittent fasting in mind, obviously, because it's an older program, older book. So if you are choosing an intermittent fast and your feeding window is a lot smaller than it would be if you were not intermittent fasting, then I would say rule of thumb is always 3 meals a day. And a snack. Now you can play around with that, and if you've got the appetite for it, you can have another meal. Like, so what's great is the meal plan, like Shred, tells you what you're able to have, and typically I feel like it's more than what most of you actually have. So like he's giving you like this big spectrum, and you just have to stay within it. And a lot of you are able to kind of manage staying within it anyway, which is nice. If you're intermittent fasting and you feel like that's just a lot of food to fit in within 8 hours, then don't feel like you have to eat all of that. Maybe have 3 meals or maybe have smaller portions. Portion sizing is huge. So if you know that like, you're on like day 3 of this week and you're just realizing the last 2 days, I've been working kind of to fit in that 4th meal, then start to minimize how much food you're having in each meal.
While we're talking about fasting, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Is there, I've done, when I first started in April, I did the 10-hour eating and then 14-hour fasting and found it fairly simple. So after, I think, 2 weeks, I switched to 8-hour eating window. And then I almost feel like that's when I started kind of not doing as well. And so it was hard for me to wait that long period in the morning. But I was wondering, is it okay to maybe do a 9-hour eating window? I mean, it seems like we're always in even increments.
Yeah, totally. There's no
Okay.
rules around it. It's just,
Okay.
I think the only thing that I would say is that, like, you can pick an 11-hour eating window if you want. You know,
Right.
it doesn't matter how many hours it is. I think what matters is that you're keeping the fasting and feeding ratio consistent for a number of days in a week. So
Right.
you can
Yeah.
change, like, as long as you're just keeping the ratio, you can change the times that you're doing it. Just keep the ratio and try and keep it even throughout or the same throughout the week.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have another question.
Go for it. Yeah.
So if you're doing IF and doing the shred, is it still 3 hours in between, 3 to 4? Does that include 3 to 4 hours for the snacks too?
First and foremost, choose if you want to intermittent fast with the shred program. You don't have to. If it's something that you want to do, continue to do it. If you find that it's helpful and it's benefiting you, that trumps all of it. I don't care what kind of plan you're on. If it's helping you, do the intermittent fasting. If it's not, don't do it. That's number one. Number two, you are doing the intermittent fasting and you're finding it to be like this challenge to, try and schedule out your meals. I will tell you this, that scheduling out your meals hours apart is going to matter much less than just like your overall intake for the day. So I would say try not to worry so much about like the 3 hours in between meals. I think for that, Dr. Ian was kind of just going for like spacing out to make sure that you stayed satiated throughout the day. But if you're fasting and you've got a short window, you don't need to really adhere to any of those kind of hourly gaps between meals. I would say
it'd be more important to listen to whether or not you're actually hungry.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I would just stick to like when you feel hungry and just know that like spacing between meals matters way less than how much you're consuming in the day total. So just focus on staying within a certain threshold. Okay, so somebody said, for exercise, is it okay to do a program like Orangetheory twice a week instead of the HIIT workouts those 2 days? I also take tennis once a week for 2 hours, so my workout schedule would be Mondays tennis, Tuesdays HIIT workout on the app, Wednesdays Orangetheory, and I'll explain what Orangetheory is, Thursdays rest day, Friday Orangetheory, Saturday rest, Sunday HIIT or gym class. Orangetheory, if for those of you who don't know, and there will likely be people watching this who don't know, Orangetheory is a class where they hook you up to a heart monitor and they have you train at a specific output to get your heart rate up within a certain level. So you're typically doing a lot of running, a lot of row machine, and some weight training. So it's a pretty high intensity, high cardiovascular type of class, and it's pretty intense. So the question was, is it okay to do a program like that twice a week instead of the HIIT workouts that Dr. Ian that are Dr. Ian's on the app? My answer to that is absolutely, especially if you feel like you're getting a better workout from going to class and being pushed by an instructor. I go to classes myself. I'm a trainer, but I go to classes because I know that if I'm in a room with other people, I'm going to push myself harder than I would say by myself alone in a gym. So I personally think that it's probably likely better of a workout. You're probably doing more. So it's going to probably be better for you and your goals, if your goals are weight loss. So definitely do that. Just make sure that you don't overdo it. You have 2 rest days in there. I think that's great. And just make sure that you're adequately eating your protein, you're eating enough food to recover from those training days, because Orangetheory is intense. So bravo. Asked, and this one says, what's the best way to get a flat stomach and a good way to lose body fat when low impact workouts are required? So someone who can only do low impact workouts, what's the best way to flatten your tummy and to lose body fat? So flattening out your tummy and losing body fat are synonymous with each other. Contrary to popular belief, you cannot spot body fat loss, unfortunately. So being able to like lose fat off of one area of your body is just going to matter totally on genetics and stress levels, and age as well. So getting a flat tummy, you get a flat tummy by ultimately losing body fat. And if you're doing low impact exercise, what I would say is, if this is possible, to constantly throughout the day get as much activity in as you can, whether that's walking everywhere, whether that's riding your bike, whether that's walking around the house, taking the stairs, doing any type of low impact exercise that you've been given on your calendar, because you want to, what we're trying to do is keep your heart rate up, not totally up, but up throughout the day. So for a long period of time, the more your heart rate stays elevated over a length of time, the more calories you burn over that length of time. So that's one. For low impact activity, especially since you're not getting like a crazy high heart rate caloric burn, it's going to matter even more for you specifically to really keep track of your diet and to kind of reel in your diet and make sure that your diet is not only clean but appropriate calorically. So making sure that you're eating, less than you're taking, or less than you're expending in energy. So you're taking in less calories than you're putting out. That will ensure that you are losing body fat for sure. That's the scientific method. That's what's proven time and time again. So that's my answer to that question. Does anybody have anything to ask or add to that?
No.
No? Pretty self-explanatory. Yeah, so take away from that, you can't spot fat loss. So a flat tummy just comes from losing body fat. If you're not doing a lot of like high intensity, heavy heart rate type of exercise, I forgot to mention this, strength training is going to be a big one here, and diet. Strength training and diet, and just making sure that you're active throughout the course of the day. Why strength training is important, we talked about this in the last webinar that we did, or coaching circle that we did. The more you focus on putting lean body mass or muscle tissue onto your body, the faster your metabolism gets. So I use the example, if I have 10 pounds of muscle, 10 more pounds of muscle on my body, and then you, let's say you have 5 and I have 15 pounds of muscle, and you have 5 pounds of muscle. I'm going to be burning more calories while just sitting here than you are. So adding that muscle tissue onto your body, doing resistance training with weights, eating enough protein to be able to build muscle, those are all going to be really, really helpful in helping you lose body fat. Okay.
I hesitate to join any of the classes at my gym just because I am, I can't do everything. So
Got the limitation. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what's wonderful is that, group fitness instructors and trainers are equipped to deal with people who have limitations, whatever the limitations are. So if you just walk up to a teacher, if you are even thinking about going to a class, and say, I can't do an overhead press, this is, what, if you could just show me modifications, like teachers are usually happy to do that. That's one. Two, you can still train lower body. You can still train your lower body.
A lot of people are posting things, foods and recipes or anything. Are you and others looking at that to make sure that it's meets the standards, I guess I'll say?
On Dr. Ian's Facebook page?
Yeah.
They're posting what? Just pictures of their food?
Sometimes, yeah, food, sometimes recipes. Sometimes people are, like asking about salad dressings or that sort of thing.
No. So I have no affiliation with the Facebook group. That is, I'm not in it, or I'm not policing it. I guess. What I will say though is that those people don't have access to a coach, so you can always just screenshot something and send it to me and have me vet it for you. Yeah, if you're like, if there's something, I'm happy to do that, like, all the time. So just, if you're curious about something, I feel like the Facebook group, it's kind of, there isn't a coach in there able to like see everything. So yeah, people I think are just sharing what they want to share, and if it's, whether or not it's clean or appropriate to be having on a meal plan, just snap a picture and send it to me, or post it to the crew feed in the app and then tag me. If you guys tag me in the crew feed, this is to everybody because a lot of you will see this. If you write to me in the crew feed, it's hard for me to like see it. I mean, I scroll through there and I respond to things, but sending me a message is the best way to ping me to respond. But if you tag me on something, @ and write my name, I'll get notified of it and I can go directly to your post. So if you screenshot it, you want to send me in a direct message and ask me privately, you can. If you want to post it in the crew feed and just tag me so that other people can see it, do that. And I'm totally happy to do it.
Okay.
Anything else?
I think I'm good.
Okay. Well, feel free to sign off, you guys, if you're ready to go. And remember, if you have questions, any other questions, just message me.
Okay.
Good. Cool.
Thanks for taking time, Ashley.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for joining me. This was like a fun little circle. All right, you guys. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll talk to you in the app.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.